All right, microphone check, microphone check. Therapy Without a Degree, Chapter 52. Your boy, Joe Fucarino. They always clown me for saying your boy. It's your boy.
It's your boy.
Yeah, it's your boy, Joe Fucarino in the fucking house. Chapter 52. And across from me, we got the infamous Ray Suarez.
What's up?
What up, man?
Nice to see you, man. It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But like we were saying before, so now, where do you tell people you're from?
I'm a New Jersey native. I've read
New Jersey native?
all day long. Jersey head, but I mean, as I was saying before, you know, if you're from like out of the country or if you're from like California, I'll always say, you know, New York City, New York.
New York City, right?
Because people, you know, they say from New Jersey, they're like, what's that? Jersey Shore?
Yeah, you know what's fucked up too though? You tell people New York.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell people Jersey, and they never think like where we're from. You're right. They always think like Atlantic City.
Yeah.
They think like Jersey Shore or something. And I'm like, nah. Like I was
Jersey.
letting them know like, whoa, nah, I'm Jersey, but I'm like 15 minutes away from the fucking city.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
But all right. So where did you live? When did you live in Lodi?
So
I'm curious.
I grew up in Englewood. I moved to Lodi when I was young. I was probably, 10 years old. And then I was in Lodi from 10 till about 19. So I was in Lodi for, I grew up there pretty much.
Yeah, you know what's funny? It's almost same as me.
Yeah.
I was 8 to 19, just to 19. Right after my 19th birthday, I left.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much almost the same shit. Like before 8, I was everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I primarily grew up in Englewood, but due to family situations, parents and whatever, me, my mother, and my older brother ended up moving to Lodi to live a better life. And we were there. I pretty much grew up there. That's where I got most of my life experiences. And then after Lodi, I was so sick of being at home, so I decided to leave on my own. Got a place with an old friend, in Clifton, New Jersey.
Okay.
And then that was awesome. That was great. First apartment, $750 for full basement apartment, free Wi-Fi, the works.
Shit, I wish.
All exclusives paid. So I was in Clifton for about a year. After Clifton, the person that I was living with couldn't afford to help me with all the bills, even though I was making decent money at the time. She couldn't afford to help me with all the bills, so I ended up going back home to Lodi for about a year or two. Saved up some money, racked up some money, and then moved out to Union City.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in Union City.
Hudson County?
Yeah, Hudson County. I went out there because I was working a job for a doctor in Jersey City. So like I just knew that I never wanted to stay home. I just wanted to get the hell up out of the house.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I was saving money, I just knew that going through life and everything at the time, I didn't have a car, so I just said, you know what? I did have a car, but I had lost my license, so I couldn't drive them. Sold all the cars, and I said I need to be somewhere close to work. So I ended up moving immediately just to Union City, first place I could find. And at that point, my mother actually lost the house, so there was no going back from there. And so I was in Union City for about a year. And then after Union City, I had a falling out with the landlord. It was just a whole weird situation. New owners took over the building.
Yeah.
It was weird, And then went to Jersey City, and that was...
Yeah, I know you ended up over there for a little while, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was in Union City primarily because I was working in Jersey City from like 21 until probably 2 years ago.
I fucking hate Jersey City.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jersey City. There's different parts of it, man, but there's some parts of it you don't even want to be at nighttime. There's some parts you don't want to be at daytime.
Even during the daytime, right?
But for the most part, I liked it.
I'm just talking shit. The only reason I don't like it is because I was doing Uber for a while.
Oh, yeah, that's the Uber spot.
And I fucking hate it because all the red lights.
Yeah.
So many red lights.
JFK Boulevard and everything.
Yeah, so many damn fucking stop signs.
Yeah.
Like, just... that's my reason why I didn't like it. I called it the fucking black hole. Like, I would just get in there and fucking leave.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is, what are you doing? What's all this shit? Like, you talking in front of crowds? What are you doing? Motivating people?
Yeah, man.
What's going on? What is this?
I mean, about 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years ago now, I got into an opportunity. I was in, as I mentioned, I was living in Jersey City. I was living in Union City at the time, working for a doctor. And as I was working for the doctor, I was making some decent money. I was probably making, I don't even know, like $30,000 a year, whatever, $35,000 a year. It was okay. It was good enough for me to have my bills taken care of,
And then some.
and
Yeah.
very little then some.
Yeah.
So I was always hustling. on
And
the
then,
side.
not even the sum.
Yeah, and then just the and then.
Maybe yes.
It was enough for me to like live for the weekend, you know, and do the normal thing, you know, go out and have a nice dinner or whatever. But that's it, no savings or anything. So I always been trying to hustle since I was in high school. I actually
Yeah, you always had that mentality.
Yeah, man, always. And back in high school, I remember I created like an eBay account, a Craigslist account, and this was before all these different selling apps now. And I've always been selling, you know, crap I could get my hands on. So whether it be like electronics, I mean, a big thing for me was like bags, watches, clothes. I even got into like fake Rolexes, fake Louis
watches
Vuitton.
and stuff.
I mean,
yeah.
people can't afford the real stuff, so they buy the next best thing. They
Yeah,
want
of
to look
course.
good. So I always did that. I always had this hustle mentality, you know. And even while working for the doctor, I was an eye doctor, and I even had people that I built relationships with there that loved coming there because I was there, whatever the case may be. You know, not to toot my own horn, but it was cool because these are people that I can like vibe with and say, listen, you know, if you want something, I can hook you up, because I had all access to all these different vendors, you
Of
know,
course,
so
yeah.
you know, I knew where to get stuff. Also, we'd get different samples and stuff for free. So I mean, I didn't feel bad if it was a free product or something. But
Yeah.
a free product, I sell it to a customer for whatever I wanted.
Exactly, yeah, and just make
know.
straight profit.
Exactly. So so that's what I ended up doing. I ended up hustling there, but at the same time, I was still, I guess, what's the word for that? You know, when you're soliciting, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Technically, that's what I was doing, but it was
Yeah.
free. So if it's free, is it soliciting? I don't know.
And no, fuck it.
All I know is I didn't feel good doing it.
Yeah.
Plus, there was a lot of issues in that job. So I mean, I've always knew that I needed to do something more. I was paying bills. I wanted to go back to school because I wanted to, you know, I wanted to make obviously more money and do something that I loved. But I liked where I was because, you know, a doctor gave me the opportunity, and I don't know, I just like to help people. So it worked for a little bit, but my money wasn't catching up. Mm-hmm. And even doing the eBay hustle and doing stuff on the side, I picked up Uber. I love to ride bike in the city.
Okay, so you're doing Uber Eats?
So I was doing Uber Eats in the city when it first
nice.
came out. And I realized there's different ways I can make money on the side. Like, I used to do that just for fun, working out. But then I said, you know what, let me just make some money out of it while I'm doing that. So went through a whole entire, like, weight loss part of my life there. I was, like, the skinniest I've ever been.
Yeah, you went ham.
yeah, I was crazy skinny there. But, yeah, man, I just always knew that there was something more. And as I was in Jersey City, a friend of mine that I used to meet with from back in the day hit me up, and like he was like, "Yo, I know, you're always so sharp. You know, I used to wear a suit to work and everything. You always look like you want more out of life." And I was like, "Hell yeah, man!" And he actually ended up linking me up with my current senior business partner now. You know, because at the time he was developing a huge business in Jersey City.
Okay.
And he needed some good people to work with. You know, he was looking to qualify a couple of people. So me being me, I check out every opportunity I can. And I know you're the same way.
Yeah, exactly. You might as well.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt because you either get something positive out of it, or like I said recently on another podcast, I was like, "Yo, fuck it." Like, people are afraid to fail,
Yeah.
but when you fail, you just learn what doesn't work faster.
Exact. Thank you so much.
Like,
I tell people this all the time. Don't ever be afraid to fail, because at least you'll learn.
it's that you learn what doesn't work. But I mean, if it works, fuck it.
Yeah.
You try something, you make a fucking $1 million. Guess what? You just made $1 million.
You know what? But you never know if you don't try.
100%.
You know, and I love that you've always. I mean, I've known you for, man, since freshman year in high school, something like that. And
yeah.
I know you've always had that mentality. You're always so positive, always so loving, always so friendly.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Compared to, of course, man, compared to a lot of people that we went to school with.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Shout out to them, though. Shout out to them.
Yeah. They made us who we are, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But, you know, it's just, I was going through a lot at that time, and.
You saw an opportunity.
Yeah, man. I seen an opportunity. It was funny. I think my ex-girlfriend, because she was the one who I met, my friend that referred me to my current senior business partner. She was the one who kind of linked us together at the time, and it was crazy, you know. And so I seen the opportunity, and I actually went to a networking event. That's how I met my current senior business partner. His name's Nick. And I went to this networking event, and like I said, I was just open to anything. I mean, I was there early on time. I said, listen, this could be a big opportunity for me, or it could be something that I can learn from. Whatever, It doesn't matter. You know, just like how we look at things. But I went and I ended up seeing this business opportunity, and it just blew my mind. You know, there was just something about the vibe that I was around, the people I was around. There was like, it was just all love in the room. There wasn't any negativity that I could see, at least.
Yeah. All good energy.
All good energy. You know, there's something that God just inside of me. It felt right. You know, it was just like, all right, this is where I'm supposed to be at. I'm with the right people at the right place at the right time. You know, and if you're in the opportunity ever and you feel that way, like, yo, this is good. Take the opportunity. You know, and
it felt real, right? It felt genuine.
It felt genuine, man. And you know, that night I actually had met Nick. And like I said, at the time I was living in Union City, paying for all my stuff on my own, living on my own. I had no savings. You know,
you said you was basically just getting by.
Just getting by, you know, but I was looking.
But you're working your ass off.
Working my ass off, man, 60, 80 hours a week. I pretty much ran an office for somebody. And when I met Nick, we were the same age. You know, at the time I was 25, he was 25. And I was making, like I said, probably like $35,000 a year, not even. And when I met him, he was making actually about 150, 200 grand a year. And I said,
use that.
Yeah, right. I was like, yo, like that's awesome, man. And I'm looking at myself like, okay, like what did I do wrong that we're the same age and that, you know, he's doing this and I'm not, you know. And I look at it from a lot of people we went to school with that are still in school to this day, getting their master's program, like finishing their master's. They don't even have jobs yet, but all they have is all this freaking debt. Yeah. And I'm just like,
piece of paper.
Yeah, a piece of paper.
I can make you. Hey, anyone listen to this fucking podcast? I can make you a degree. All right, I'll do it for $50.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
What's the name of the podcast, man?
Yeah, therapy. No, but it's fucking right on this podcast. Therapy without a degree. I'll make you a fucking. I'll make you a diploma. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, therapy without a degree. I'll make you the degree. $50, yo.
$50. Trying to make money out here, you know.
Exactly. Hustle.
Oh my god. But you know that's what it was, and you know. It was crazy because it was so relatable. You know, we came from similar backgrounds. You know, parents split up, and you know, it was a cool guy, congenial dude, and I don't know. You know, a lot of people at that event were trying to talk to him because they were trying to figure out, like, you know, this guy is young, he's successful, he's doing his thing, and so in my mind, I'm like, yo, so what does this guy do? And I'm like, you know, what kind of job does he have? What is he working? Where did he graduate from? Because that's what we're always thinking in our mind, especially coming out after school and going out, you know, coming from a school-based background, you know, we think, okay, what degree funny as hell, right? What degree can we get to make the most amount of money? And hopefully it's something that we like so that we can live the life that we want to live. Yeah. And so I'm thinking all these things, and, you know, I talked to him, and I ended up setting up another time to get back with him, and, you know, I'm asking, like, yo, what kind of job do you have? What are you doing? He's like, listen, Ray, I don't have a job. And I said, shoot, man, I'm sorry. You know, I'm like, well, I didn't mean to bring anything up. Maybe, I don't know. You know, I was like,
just lost a job.
Yeah, you know. But I mean, he seemed pretty successful. So I was like, yeah, I mean, that sucks. That's a good job to lose if you're making 150 grand a year, right? Yeah. And he was like, no, man. He's like, you don't get it. He's like, I will never work a job. I will never be employed by anyone besides myself and my wife. If
job,
anything.
just over broke.
Yeah, exactly, just over broke.
That's what it means.
You know, and. He said, you know, listen, when I was 19 years old, I seen a business opportunity, and I took it. And since he was 19, he developed an online business that now produces him. I mean, at that time, it was his business. He was 25, and from 19 to 25, his business started producing him take home, like I said, about 200 grand a year, which is pretty freaking awesome, you know. Yeah. But the asset in its whole was worth over millions at that time. You know, worth over $1 million. So, I mean, it was a pretty substantial business. I mean, as you know, there's so many different opportunities online now. People are even doing, like, Uber and Lyft and Postmates, all these different TaskRabbit. There's all these different ways to make money online. It's just figuring out what's the best for you, what works. Yeah. You know, and so I seen this, and I said, yeah, we're the same age. He became successful. He started his business 5 years ago at that time. You know, 5 years to make 150 grand, that's freaking awesome, because the way my mind was thinking was I can go to school for 4 years, get a bachelor's degree, and hope that I come out of a bachelor's degree making 80 grand. Hope. And that ain't gonna happen. You lucky if you can get fucking 50. Exactly. You know, that's the truth of it.
No, it's 100%. Like, I was doing fucking sales, and I was making the same money as fucking family members that went to school for teaching. You know, and I'm like, why?
It's sad, you know. I mean, that's a whole nother story topic. But teachers, I believe, should be getting paid more than half the careers in this country. You know, these are the people
course.
that set up the future with the children that they're working with. You know,
Yeah. But they get paid the same as a fucking server.
and that's why a lot of them don't teach the best. They
Yeah,
do,
they
you
don't
know?
give a fuck. But nah, to make that money, make that amount in 5 years, that's insane.
That's what I was thinking, bro. And
Yeah.
I'm like, we're the same age, you know. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? You know,
And to do something he enjoys, because you could make that becoming a manager, whatever. Maybe you hustle for 5 years. A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
But to be genuinely happy and to say that you don't have a job, that's a different story. So that's kind of where it cuts, like where it's different.
Yeah, you know, and that to me, that's making 150, 200 grand. That's a doctor's salary. So in my mind, I'm thinking, yo, you have to go to school for, you know, what is it, 6, 7 years, 8 years plus residency, whatever you have to do to become a doctor. Like that's, and I'm like, yo, that's what he did or something? Like, how does this work? You know, and I was listening to him and his story kind of, and, you know, he was on a pre-med track. So I'm like, okay, this guy was already pretty sharp as it is. And his wife, Stephanie, actually, she was on a pre-law track. She was going to go into law school and do all these things, you know, and they met when they were in high school. But, you know, they were both very instrumental to me starting my own personal online business back then. And so, you know, after sitting with him, he kind of explained to me what he was doing, what he was into. And, you know, I just said, you know what, if it worked for you, you know, and, you know, I just needed to get in his back pocket. You know, I just wanted to learn. I was really hungry at that time to learn what is he doing to get what he has. And, you know, luckily I qualified to work with him, you know, and
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, like I've always heard this, like, listen, if you want to be somewhere in life, find someone who's already there and do everything they did to get to where they are, and you'll hopefully have the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're gonna put in the same hustle.
Exactly, you know. And if you want to put in more, you can too. You know, students sometimes surpass the masters. You know, and it's all because of work ethic. You know, like you just mentioned. So,
And adding value. A lot of people forget to add value. Whatever you're doing, you'll add value. Add a reason why. Like if you're not adding value, who the fuck could they just get anybody else?
Amen.
You know, and add value when I tell people add value when it's not being asked. Like everything, even in a relationship, in fucking work, and anything. If you add value to something else, something's gonna come back. You know, in the long run. Like it's kind of like karma. You know, like that's how I look at it. Like when people say karma, I believe just adding value, and then that good value will come back to you.
Exactly, man. And I when I was young growing up, I didn't understand that. You know, I was more of a taker, I guess you can say, living with parents and living off of them for a little bit and going back and forth. Like you know, a lot of people forget to do that. You know, and when I met Nick, he was all about adding value. You know, he was the one who showed me how to get started in what I do, and you know, it's been a blessing. You know, he became successful, and he said, "Listen, if I can do this, you know, I'll give you a quick background on him. He was, like I said, his parents split up at a young age. He moved to Jersey City. He lived in the hood of Jersey City. If anybody's listening to this from Jersey City, he lived in the Greenville area, right off of Ocean Ave. That's like the hood of the hood.
Okay, shout out to that.
Yeah, right. You know, but that's that type of place you don't want to be at during the daytime, let alone nighttime. So, you know, he ended up living there, and just from his work ethic and his dedication and what he started doing at a young age, he ended up moving to a private gated community now. You know, when I met him, he was driving around a brand new Benz. You know, him and his wife both didn't work. And also another crazy thing at that time, a couple months prior to me meeting him, he actually, this is crazy. Whoever's listening to this is real. I'm not even kidding with you. He actually retired his mother from work.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he said, listen, he was making enough money to take care of his mother and make sure she didn't have to worry about work, you know. And I said, what? I said, listen, if I could do that, my gosh, you know. And it wasn't like she had like a little job. She was a teacher. She was a professor in a college, Monroe College.
So she was making good money.
She was making good money. She was making a 6-figure income, but she was working extremely hard. You know, she had like 20 years of extra learning under her belt. Yeah, you know, she's a great lady too. I love her.
All that shit, man. Like that's my goal too. Yo, like. Yeah, money's cool, but not even that. You just want to be able to spend more time with your family.
Exactly.
So if you can get them to not work, if you can make enough money to where like you don't have to work, quote unquote. Yep. You know, like obviously you're still working, but it's a different type of. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be there from fucking 9 to 5. You can work on your own time. You can hustle on your own time. Like that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what motivates me. Like, fuck it, I want to just hustle so I can get to that point where if I could fucking, have to go to a family dinner.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fucking case is, I can go to that family dinner.
Yeah.
Because life
Kids
is only one.
basketball game or something.
That's what I'm saying. You never, like, if you have a kid and they have a fucking basketball game, you're never going to get those days back.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, you can die fucking tomorrow. You're never going to get those fucking days back. You can video record it all you want, but you ain't going to get those days back.
It's not the same. Time is the number one most precious commodity in our world, in our lives.
You're right.
You can never I can never get back 10 seconds ago of what we were talking about.
Exactly. So you might as well do it right, and you might as well live right. So if you can make money to where you could see your family more, like that's what life's really about. Family, love, and love is one of the most powerful things in the world. I feel.
Love is the most powerful thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's the most powerful thing in the fucking universe.
You can't express it if you're not around.
Exactly, you can't, and it just sucks. Like you always gotta be working, hustling your fucking ass off, working these jobs and shit, and it's like, yo, like. Nah, fuck that. There has to be other ways. Yeah. So my goal is to make the most fucking money. Like, they say work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Same fucking thing, It's just make the fucking most amount of money doing the fucking easiest amount of work or on your own fucking time.
Exactly.
That's
how it is.
We only live once, yo. If I can go back, like, you ever, you kind of go back and you're like, okay, I've had these jobs, right? You look at your resume.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, all that time I wasted, what do I have to show for it? All those times you worked your fucking ass off when you could have been chilling with your family, your loved ones, like. But you need the money, like money. Obviously everyone needs the money.
That's what I was just gonna let you know. Like we have bills to pay.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I've done that. I've reflected and I looked at it negatively, where my mindset was prior, and I said, listen, like just like you, I was like, shit, man, like, excuse my language, like, yo, this is crazy. Like I've spent time at freaking this job that didn't amount to anything. The problem is where my mindset was at that time. I was stupid. I was young. I was blowing money fast. I was thinking I'm freaking Rick Ross out here, and buying these Gucci belts and whatever. Stupid things that we do to try and please ourselves. Or to impress other people that we don't even like, right? But it's like, we spend. It depends on our mindset at that time. And now where my mind is, it's like I look back and I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned, because guess what? I look back and again looking at a resume, I'm like, all right, I've done all this. And so now I know I don't want to do this.
Of course, yeah.
And that's how you have to look at it. Like, now I know I don't want to do this. So now, what the hell am I going to do now to get to where I want to go?
Yep.
But you said it, man. It's all about the time. Time is the number one most precious thing, And if you can't spend time with the people you love or the things that you love doing or making yourself happy, what are you doing? It's not like you're just stuck in a rat race. You're just running on a hamster wheel. And that's what I was doing. I have another business mentor, and he was telling me, as having a job, he was like working in a circus. Like he was a trapeze artist. He would, hold onto his bar at work, and then right after work on a Monday, swing into Tuesday. Like an artist, like a trapeze artist, because that's exactly what we do, and it's on a daily thing, and it's because you're so hung up on working at this position or this job for a boss, for a company that was someone else's dream, you're now funding pretty much their dream with your time and your effort and your labor, but what is it doing really for you? Yeah, it's paying your bills. Yeah, it's going to take care of some things, but like you mentioned, if you're stuck at this freaking job, how are you going to take care of your kids? Your kids are there, or your family, or even you have your dog Princess. I love her. She's awesome.
Shout out to Princess.
Right? She's the best. She's so loving. But like, even just, I know people that love the dog so much they just want to spend all their time with them. But
yeah, like, if I could, like, that's a goal, a goal.
Right?
Of mine.
Take it to the park every day or something.
Exactly. Like, that's a fucking real life goal.
Yeah.
That's a real life thing. Like, people joke about it.
No, man.
But that could be your life.
You know why they joke? Because their mind isn't there.
Exactly.
Their self-image isn't there to bring that goal or that dream that they have into reality. And that's a big problem that all of this country, all the people in the world have. The only reason why people don't go after the things they truly want is because they don't have the self-image to. And once I realized that for myself, which wasn't that long ago, things started to change. Even when I started my business, I was always a risk taker. I mean, that's just my personality naturally.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, listen, what do I got to lose? I'm freaking young, I'm reckless. Yeah. What do I got to lose? But there were still certain things that I wouldn't take my chance on. Like, I'm sure you've had this come to your mind, or as people who are listening, if you've seen a girl or a guy that you liked and you wanted to approach them, but there was something inside of you like, yo, this girl is bad, but it's like, what am I gonna say? I don't know what to do. Is she gonna think I'm hot? Is she gonna like me? Like,
Yeah.
we all have certain, but it could be. I'm just bringing that up just because that's a
A lot of
regular
people can
thing that a
relate
lot
to
of
it.
people can relate to. But it could be anything. It could be the same as grabbing a job or even getting a degree. A lot of people I've heard like, yo, I want to be a doctor, but then they're like, but being a doctor takes too much time and effort, and it's like you don't know. What you're gonna go through until you actually experience it. You don't know if you talk to that girl and she actually thinks it's hot that you have the balls to talk to her.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of women and, I've spoke to girls and a lot of girls have said, I'm not saying from my experience, but like, yo, yeah, there's a reason why, I started dating this guy and it wasn't because he was good looking or anything. It was because he had the balls to say hello.
Yeah, confidence is key.
It is.
And fellas out there's a lot of girls too who, like, what I've learned too, as you get older, you kind of like just meet people and you reflect. A lot of times girls be feeling you and you'll have no idea.
Yeah, man.
Us guys sometimes are stupid. Like, sometimes we just won't see it.
We are stupid.
You know
man.
what I mean? Like, I've had
I
situations.
think women are superior, man.
Word.
They're on another
Women
level.
are the shit. But I've had situations where I met a girl and they were like, yeah, I was feeling you. Like, years. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You're fucking telling me we could have been some.
No, man, they're not. That's why you have to be the right one to figure that out.
But at the end of the day, whatever it is, just think bigger. Like, I've said that before. I had my good friend Chris on here one time. We had a whole segment on it. Just think bigger.
Yeah, I know, it's true, man. You were telling me about kind of where you were the last couple of years, and now you've seen different visions. You had different visions and you want to go after them. You weren't happy where you were, and I thank you for telling me that stuff because you know what? I love seeing people that know they want to do something different and they actually do something different. Whether I know this is like kind of the beginning of your era with the podcast and everything, and I love that because
Thank you, man.
I want to see where this is going to go in the next couple of years. I want to see what you're going to be doing in the next couple of years because this is how it starts. This is how the rest of your life starts.
Yeah.
And I know I want to ask you.
Okay.
Doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And thinking about the future, what kind of lifestyle do you see yourself having in the next 5 years, 10 years?
Do I? Lifestyle?
Yeah.
Or we exactly
Lifestyle.
Shit.
Not job.
Yeah,
not career.
Yeah,
lifestyle. Like, what do you
lifestyle.
want to be doing? Where do you want to be at?
Shit, I want to be doing this. I want not this. Like, I have my vision is crazy. Like, I have too many visions. Like, I don't like to call them dreams because I feel like when you say dreams, you leave room for them not to be reality. So I'm not saying dreams.
Call them goals that haven't been
Yeah,
accomplished.
exactly. Yeah, I don't like the word dream. When you dream,
I like the word dream, but
I feel like when you say it, you're leaving room for it to be fictional. Like, nah, fuck that. This is gonna happen.
good way to look at it.
I try. It's just I don't know. It's a random thought.
Yeah.
But now, I want to be able to talk to a lot more kids, college kids, things like that on a bigger level, going to colleges. Actually, like that's sooner. That's what we have plans for, going to different colleges,
Right.
talking with the kids, just doing basically this more on a bigger level.
That's awesome.
Obviously we have the podcast. I do the Wings and Visions. Doing that, want to do that more often.
Why do you want to do it on a bigger level?
Reach more people, maybe help more people out.
That's why you want to help
Yeah.
people out.
That's it. To be honest with you, that's the only reason I figure we could reach more people. Because now, if I do it one day a week on a fucking Wednesday night for fucking an hour and a half, I'm only catching one person a week or whatever. Like, I want to be able to have a team of people doing that for others. You know what I mean? Like, you would be helping someone out with their fucking visions. You know what I'm saying? Like, multiple people that.
Yeah.
I also really want to tackle the fucking drug abuse. Like, I don't even know what you call it. Just people like that are suffering from it. I want to tackle that more my own way.
Amen.
I have my own ideas. There's definitely something I want to tackle.
Hey man, I've dabbled in a lot of stuff in the past, so I know
Yeah,
what it's like.
like I don't. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's fucking. It's definitely shouldn't be as many people fucking with it as we should. And I feel like also a lot of people they need help. So I kind of want to. That's it, man. I just want to help people in different situations. That's it. Well, at the end of the day, that's all what it is with this thing. With therapy, it's just, and also helping everybody find their method of therapy. Like, everybody has something. Like, yours could be music, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, just helping people maybe find that, whatever it is, like whatever, and just help them, find it basically.
That's awesome.
And just overall happiness, because that's one of the things too. A lot of us take for granted, and a lot of people sometimes just aren't happy or they don't know what's going to make them happy.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
Somebody just needs someone to pick their brains, and that's it.
That's it. That's why I love. That's why I wanted to come here, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You just need someone, with our thing was our perspective. Like, people will send us topics every week and shit like that.
Yeah.
And none of us are right. I don't fucking have all the answers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not qualified for any of this shit. But if maybe I hit something, maybe that makes you look at things better, then I'm cool. I feel like I accomplished something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it just made you maybe help like your fucking day out.
Yeah.
Whatever. Or just made you see light. Maybe give you some motivation. Something like the most.
That's awesome, man. You give me the chills because that's all I want to do.
Yeah, fucking do it.
I mean, and that's what I am doing now.
Yeah. So what is the biz? What is the That's what we gotta know. What is this?
So, so currently, right now, funny to what you're saying, I run a mentorship program.
A mentorship, okay.
Yeah. And it didn't always start out like that. I mean, I met Nick, right? And Nick was actually part of a mentorship program already, and what he did was he helped me gain financial literacy. So he helped me understand money, how money works, different ways of making money. I mean, obviously, there's two different ways of making money. You can either make money actively or passively. I didn't know these different terms back then, and he's telling me, listen, you can either be an active, person and actively have to trade time for money. So being an employee, clocking in, clocking out, that 8 hours is what you get paid for, or being self-employed. My girl, she's a makeup artist, so she's self-employed. I've seen her come home with $1,000 in like a 4 or 5 hour job.
Yeah,
beast.
It's fucking awesome.
That's beast.
Where people are lucky if they get that shit in 2 weeks, busting their ass for somebody else.
Exactly. But at the same time, she's still self-employed and she still has to work for that time. She has to put in that time,
of course,
and have the knowledge. Like, yeah, that's a lot of money, but you also don't understand what she did to become the makeup artist that she is. All the time, the years and effort and time and money she put into school and money she put into her kit. Like, there's a lot behind
stress
that.
too. Yeah.
Stress. Working with that was from a wedding. So imagine how brides treat you. It's not just like there was physically 4 or 5 hours of work, but there was the hours and the days and the months of preparation before that of what a bride wants. There's a lot of headache. Yeah. The work is just a couple hours, but the preparation for it is a lot.
Yeah, well, so when you divide it out, it's actually probably less than minimum wage. You know what I mean? Sometimes
if you think about it,
there's so many things that are like
but
that.
It's the same with being a doctor.
Exactly.
I was working for a doctor, and it's like, listen, he was making guap. I was making him thousands of dollars a day, $4,000 or $5,000 a day, easy, every single day. Meanwhile, I was the chump that was working there and only making $200 a day, while he's coming home with all the bread, doing his $60,000 renovation to his bathroom in his little 2-bedroom apartment and in a nice little condo.
Yeah.
But it's like, at that time though, it's like if he has that store and that office that we had, and he didn't come to work, and it was just me selling glasses, yeah, he might be able to make a little bit of money, and that's where the asset comes into play. But his main profession was being a doctor. So here's the thing. If he sees no patients, is he making money?
Yeah,
No. So he still has to actively put in that time to
course.
work. And I seen that. And I said, just like Uber, I tried Uber. I know you did Uber for a little bit. And it's like, you have that option to have a free schedule and work whenever you want and be self-employed and be your own boss, or pretty much you're still working a job. You're owning your job now. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
And the same as with a doctor, with a makeup artist, whatever the case may be, being self-employed. Most people who are self-employed are like, listen, if it's to be, it's up to me. And I personally, I like that more than even having a job. But for me, having a job at certain points was easier because that's all I knew how to do.
People don't think of it. It's not even, sometimes people don't think about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many jobs, especially now with the internet.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things you could do, and you could be self-employed. Like, fuck, you gotta take advantage. But sometimes people don't think, they're not thinking big enough.
It's true, and when I heard that, I was like, you're right. I have been making money actively, which is what most 90% of Americans do, but that's only where 2% of the wealth lies in this country. Nick said, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be not rich, not making good money, not having a high income from your job, if you want to be wealthy, you have to have passive income coming in. You have to have money coming in when you're sleeping, when money 100%. That's just coming in and you're not even worrying about it. You're not knowing where it's coming from. It's just coming. I mean, obviously you want to know where it's coming from, but you know what I mean? Like money that is just accumulating without you having to actually actively have to put in work for the money.
Of course, yeah.
And so he said there's two ways to do that. You could either become a business owner and build an asset where the asset's bringing you a cash flow, or you can be an investor, and invest into properties or other businesses or other people or other things where, you have capital already, But that was the problem. When I met him, I had no such thing as capital.
Yeah.
And so since the capital wasn't there, let me just text this.
Yeah, and yo, shout out to any investor that may be listening. I got mad ideas, yo. Hit me up. That's all I need. That's all I need. I'll be wealthy. Just find me a fucking investor. All right? Because if y'all think y'all been seeing some shit from Joe, you haven't seen shit yet.
Ain't seen nothing yet, man.
I just need a fucking investor. That's all I need is an investor.
Yeah.
I'd be where I want to fucking be if I had the money.
Yeah. You know, it's true. You know, that's everybody in life. You know, and that's a lot of people say money is the devil. No. It's because you're broke and that's why you're saying that. But, you know, then you haven't seen money yet, you know, but I know a lot of rich people and people that are wealthy, and they're the most happiest people I've ever met because they actually know what to do with their money, you know, and it's crazy. I'll get into that a little later.
Yeah, but also though, money isn't everything.
It's not, you know, but it can take care of a lot of damn things.
Yeah, financial freedom. Like freedom, it's just freedom, that's it. I don't want to be free. That's the only reason.
That's what we're designed to be, man.
Yeah.
Humans weren't designed to be locked up in a cage. Like, yeah, physical slavery is out. You can't whip somebody and say, you know, like Kunta Kinte status, but you know, we're shackled in by our bosses because we have to pay our freaking bills. And it's like,
yeah, we have
people, you know, they come in and, you know, if their boss, you know, says, you know, I want you to stay a little bit later today. Can, you know, I know you're supposed to leave at 5, but can you leave at, you know, 6 o'clock? We have a project that's due. And I need you to finish it. You thinking about, you know, your bills are coming in. You're jacked, you know, because you're like, yeah, I got to take care of this. Otherwise, you know, if you don't say, how do you look towards your boss if you say, no, I can't do that, and this is your project?
Yeah, you're fucking put down.
Yeah, you know, it looks you become unreputable to your boss at that point, which is the person who actually feeds you, you know. But then at that same time, 5 minutes after your boss comes to you, your wife or your girl sends you a picture of her looking all sexy and everything, and she's like, yo, look, like, you know, I'm waiting for you, daddy, come home. But then you know what? You just committed to your boss who's actually taking care of you and your wife, so then you feel like you have to now spend time with your boss
instead of your family,
so like,
in which they can fucking die tomorrow.
Exactly.
Like, you just never know, man. Time's so fucking valuable.
On the way here, the reason I was supposed to be here at 5 o'clock, it's now 6, almost 7 o'clock. You know, the reason that I was an hour freaking late wasn't because I wanted to be, but it was because there was freaking stuck on traffic on 46.
Yeah.
3 cars overturned. Took up the whole highway. Bro, it was crazy. I've never seen anything like this. 3 cars overturned. Every car, windows blown out, crushed to pieces. And like, there's the houses over there by Richfield Park. There's houses on the side of 46.
Yeah.
There was like a truck into the house.
Into the fucking house.
It was freaking crazy. And so like, I'm wondering why there's all this traffic here. And it was cool because I was in the bus. You know, I was like, listen, I got some time to read. I'm relaxing. But as I pass this, I'm like, oh my god, like, and the first thing I hear is the bus driver like, yo, it doesn't look like anybody made it out of that alive. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my god, did he really just say this? Like, what a d-bag for saying this. Like, that's such a negative way to look at it. Like, I'm over here praying, like, yo, I pray everybody's okay. I pray everybody's okay. He's like, nah, nobody made it. And I'm sitting right behind him. I'm like, oh, this guy can't be. Did he really just say that? Like, that is the worst way to look at things. But that's how people look at things. They see something negative and they say, like, nah, that is negative. Like, no, I'm over here praying for the best out of the situation.
He's like, nope, nobody made that shit.
You know, but that's the mentality of having glass full or glass empty. You know, you have to always be looking at it positively no matter what the outcome or situation. Like we were talking about the resume. Look at that situations of your past experiences and take the positive out of them. You know, the negative, if it's something that was really bad, try and come to terms with it and realize what happened and learn from it and grow from it. You know, I'm reading this book right now. It's called Keys.
Keys?
Yeah, and it's talking to the reader about really harnessing in on being the best version of you. Okay, but you can't do that if you're afraid of 2 things: the past or the future. You know, a lot of people, they live in the past and they're hurt from the past and they think about how they acted or what happened in the past, and that's what keeps them down. It keeps their self-image down, so they can't live the way they're supposed to live in the present.
Yeah, in the present.
You know,
because you're worrying about one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, and it's great for people to live in the present. That's the best way to live. You'll find people who are extremely happy, even if they're making no money, whatever the case may be. If they're, you know, they're living in the present, so they're happy. But at the same time, you can't just live there because something can come up from the past and it can mess up your present. And you can't just live there because then you're not planning for the future. So what the book talks about is, listen, take your experiences from the past, you know, come to terms and be good with what happened so that you're okay now. But then also at the same time now, think about where you're going to be in the future.
Yeah, where you're.
You know, the only way for you to become successful is you put your past, your present, and your future all
Have a nice
together.
balance.
Exactly. You know, if you're living too far as a dreamer, you know, I've met people and they just think about their visions and their dreams.
There's so much.
There's so much into it that they're so unproductive now
that they're gonna get them to the next level. Yeah, you're right.
And the only way for you
too much into one.
You can't live that way.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what that book's talking about. I mean, that's part of our mentorship program. We work a lot with education.
Education, okay.
Like I mentioned,
that's good.
Financial freedom is key. You know, and I personally I never went to college. You know, but I do know what college is about. It's about getting a good job. You know, but you're based off of your score. You're not based off of you're based off of your IQ essentially. But your IQ doesn't have to mean anything, because I know serial killers that have extremely high IQs.
Exactly.
That's not somebody who I want in my life.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you're being graded off of at a college or at a university. You know, a lot of it doesn't, not a lot that comes into term is something called EQ, your emotional quotient, your love quotient, how much you act with other people. This is actually the most successful people in the world. This is something that they've taken advantage of. You know, and that's something that I had to learn, you know, and that's not something that you get from a traditional college. But as I mentioned when I met Nick, you know, he was in a good part of life, you know, and I said, I want to be there. His mentality was good. I was very negative. I was living for the weekend. I was smoking weed. I was drinking. Had a bad relationship with a girl at the time. I was not treating people properly. I wasn't adding value like you mentioned. So I was, you know, I was
saw that and you wanted that.
I wanted that, you know, because when I met him, he was taking people through a process of doing what he did, you know, and I was like, yo, so you're actually teaching people how to become successful like you? Like, why? He's like, well, what do you mean why? This is what I love to do. I wanted an opportunity when I was growing up. I finally got one from his senior business mentor, and you know, I'm coming from this area in Jersey City where there's all these kids that have no opportunity because all they're doing is what they learn, and that's selling drugs and, you know, talking about, you know, Lil Uzi Vert and
they don't see that next level. Sometimes you
have to be aware of these opportunities, man, and a lot of it though is you're not putting yourself out there, or you're not doing the research, which is okay, you know, because we do what we know half the time. We do what's comfortable to us, but if you want to live to your best potential, the norm. You know, if you want to live to your best potential, you cannot be normal. You cannot be doing what you're doing. I remember you telling me when you said you were starting the podcast and everything, people thought you were crazy. You know what? It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, you know, you coming out of that is what's going to make you a stronger person. And that's what I love seeing.
Thank you, man.
You know, I love seeing entrepreneurs that do that. I love seeing people who realize there's something more to just what they're doing on a daily basis, and they want to break free from that, because that's how I've been my whole life. I just never knew where to go.
Yeah, you didn't see. Sometimes it just takes one little thing just to see it, you know. That's it. And then once you see it, I think it's over, you know. And it may take time, but even like time, like we said, time is so valuable. All these fucking years you're going to school and college, all those years, fucking work on your own shit, and that shit could just be way more like better, profitable, and over like profitabilism for money and happiness.
Amen. You know? And that's what it is. You know, a lot of people think it's all about the money, which is where my mind was. You know, I got into business with Nick. I said, he's like, well, what do you really want out of life, right? What kind of lifestyle you want? I'm over here thinking like, yes, like I'm trying to drive the old school classic Porsche.
Okay.
You know, I'm trying to live in the mansion. I'm trying, you know, I want to make sure that I can eat good food every single day. Like, you know, the fanciest food money could buy. You know, I was thinking so monetary, you know, and a lot of people do, because, you know, that's just when you think about dreams, people always put that into perspective. I wasn't thinking about, okay, if I am able to impact lives with what we're doing, you know, as working with him and being part of this mentorship program, on a daily basis, we're impacting lives to learn more about their financial future, to learn more about what they're going to be doing for the time being that they're on this earth, and how they can impact themselves and their family, you know. And I said, this is crazy, because, you know, I've always wanted an opportunity where I can help people, which is why I got into medical, which is, you know, where I can help people, but also help myself and my family.
Of course, yeah.
You know, and have that time, and have that commitment. And when you're running your own business and you're able to do that, it's a blessing, because, you know what, in your own business, you can have your family there.
Of course.
You know, you running this business right now, we got Princess in the house.
Yeah.
You know, but you can't do that at your job. You can't bring your girl to your job. You can't bring your kid to your job. You know, and I noticed that, obviously, you know, and I said, listen, so if this is a business I'm running, I can do whatever I want. It's my own business. I can work it however I want to work it. You know, but the thing was, is I seen where he was. I seen where Nick was, and I said, listen, if I want to be successful, I need to follow him and do what he did so that I can get what he has. You know, and that's the name of the game. You know, if you want to be somewhere in life, you just have to follow somewhere. As I mentioned, you know, he really taught me about my finances, and he taught me how to budget my money. Before I met him, I was making all this money, and I know I could have lived way better than I was, but I was making all this money, paying all these bills, thinking about it, you know, okay, I make $1,000 a week. My rent is, you know, $1,000 at the end of the month, so that's 1 week of work gone. And then I have, you know, my food, my electricity, utilities, all these different things, travel, you know, and I was just taking out money and just paying it towards that, which is the worst way to look at it. A lot of people, that's what they do, but that's what we're taught to do. And then it's like whatever you have left is your savings.
Yeah.
But you can't look at it that way, you know, and he's telling me, listen, you have to completely, you know, allocate your funds and your money to where it's going, whether you have inside expenses, outside expenses, you know, make sure you pay yourself, make sure you save first instead of saving last.
Yeah, save first.
Save first, because that's what's going to save your butt in the future, you know, and that's what's going to be able to take care of like real investments in the future, you know, when a real good deal comes up or a real good happen, or even an emergency comes up, at least you're prepared for it, you know. Yeah. And I didn't think that way. You know,
that's one. A lot of people do forget about that. Like emergencies could happen. Like,
yeah, man.
Yo, you know a fucking funeral costs about like $11,000.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't. I would have never ever guessed it.
That doesn't even include a tombstone, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's on a low. Like if you want to do a legit one, yo, like I didn't even know they charge you for church.
It's good business. Yeah.
I didn't know they charge you for the fucking church.
Because they have to have people roll the casket.
Like yo, my mom passed away a couple years ago. I didn't know any of this shit.
Bless her soul.
I went in there
thinking it was all gonna be taken care of.
Not even like that. I just didn't think it was that much money.
Yeah, maybe like 2,000.
Yeah, yo, the church wanted like fucking 5,000 or some shit.
That's crazy.
I'm like, yo,
service.
Like I said, to have a decent funeral, you need like a good 20 G's.
Yeah,
20 G's. So a lot of people don't even know that. Like, yo, the fucking if you're, God forbid, your loved one dies.
Yeah.
You need at least a good 20, 15, 20.
Yeah.
If you have 10, whatever, it's gonna be cool. But to make them,
it's not good to think about this, but yeah.
I mean, it's things to think about. Life. You have to because it's gonna happen. We're all gonna die. It's the only thing we're guaranteed in life.
Exactly. I mean, actually, besides dying, taxes.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the two. Like, you know, people, it's gonna happen. Like, God forbid, you know, these things happen. You never know when something's gonna happen. So when it happens, yeah, if you got really good credit, maybe you can fucking take out a loan or some shit. But still, like, you just gotta have that just in case.
It's true. You know, my family went through it just recently. Last Christmas, my grandfather passed away.
Sorry to hear that, man.
I mean, listen, it's life. You know, things happen with our family members. You know, bless your mother's soul as well. But I seen my father. I wasn't living with them or anything. I wasn't really in the picture. But you know, I remember my grandfather going into surgery, and my father sends a picture of him on the surgery bed. And the last picture I see of my grandfather is him sticking the middle finger up at me, because you know he was a jokester. So like he was joking like, yo, you're not here, so that's why he's sticking a middle finger. But at the same time, you know, he obviously I would want to be there, but because I was so busy in my stupid ass life, I couldn't muster up enough time to go see my own grandfather, because I was so worried at the time of what I was doing and my life where I was, and it sucks, you know, and it's sad, you know, because that's the reason that wasn't possible, is because I was so worried about what am I doing for money, how am I going to pay my bills, how am I going to take care of this, and that's what it is, man. And you know, like if we can just be financially free and stable and set, it can take care of so many things. Money's not going to make you happiness, but money can bring you happiness from the things you can do with it.
Exactly.
You know, and a lot of people don't get that, you know, and it's not always about the money. It's about the happiness, but money can bring you the happiness from the things that it can do for you.
Yeah, it's if you just think of it really, really, you know, broad or whatever, you're not gonna get it. Yeah. But you're right. There's just so many different things you
think
can
about.
Do.
Charity, man. Charity. Most people, they go to a church and the food drive, and they offer their time to give food to homeless people. But it's like, you know, that's just your time, because you can't afford anything more than that. Imagine now you can have money. Imagine you had $50,000. Boom. You just started your own food drive, and now you can feed homeless people, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't. All you can do is offer your time, which takes away from your own family as well. But if you have money, you can give to other people. You can add value into other things, and you can. My goal is, obviously to help people learn about, their finances, and then also learn about different opportunities that they have,
That they don't even know
that
about.
they don't know about. But at the same time, outside of that, I have my own selfish things that I love. Like I love cars, so I want to obviously get into car related businesses in the future.
Yeah, I was gonna say I always knew you were into that, and I was like, "Well, what happened?" I ain't seen no with it. I was always wondering.
I fell off, man. I fell off because I was too busy working.
Other shit, yeah.
And I got into a lot of trouble when I was younger.
I was the same way. I didn't get much trouble, but you lose focus on the things you love.
Exactly.
Because of the 9 to 5, because of the
hustle.
working. Yeah, like I said recently when I was telling you about me the last couple of years, I've picked up so much shit that I did when I was so young.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because you forget the things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And the things you love doing. Like now I'm making fucking graphics for people. I enjoy doing it. It's work, but guess what? I get paid for it.
Exactly.
Every time I make a graphic for someone, I get paid.
Yeah.
But my mind wasn't even there 2 years ago. I didn't even think about it. I forgot about the things that you love to do.
Exactly.
And the things that you love to do, 9 times out of 10, you could probably make a buck from it.
Oh yeah. Actually, you can make more than a buck from it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
because if it's something you love and it. Nick told me, he said, listen, if you're doing something and you're willing to do it for free, then you're doing your passion.
Of course.
But think about it. People out here that are listening to this, if you have a job, whether you're a doctor or you're a nurse and you're saying, listen, I love my job because, I get to help people and I love it. If you love your job so much, would you work at your job as a nurse or as a teacher for free for the next 2 months? Would you do it without getting any pay or compensation after that? You know what you're going to say? Hell no.
Exactly.
I was working in a medical office. If I was working there for free, hell no, I ain't working there for free. I like to help the people and I like what I was doing, but hell no, I'm not going to work there for free because guess what? Your boy has things that he has to pay for.
Yeah.
And I got to eat.
Yeah.
So,
you got to do things,
that's your
man.
passion, man. If you love it, you'll do it for free. And a lot of times when I started my business, I was doing a lot of things out of my own pocket. I was out there in the streets helping people, giving people, materials or, just knowledge or just insight on certain things. And at the same time, it's like I had to pay my time and my expenses to do that. Even coming here right now, it's like I had to pay for the transportation. I had to pay for my time to be here.
Yeah, of course.
But this is something that I want to do because just like you, if we can reach anybody and help somebody change, that's all that I care about, and I've had people come up to me and say, Ray, I had the blessing, the opportunity with Nick, of course, to be able, once he helped me get to a certain level where I was making some decent money, it gave me a platform to show other people how to do the same thing. And, he ended up helping me. He put me on a stage essentially in front of people, between New York, New Jersey, different areas where we had the opportunity to talk to certain people who are looking for opportunity, people who are hungry and who are looking, but they just don't know what to do. I had that opportunity to talk to certain people, and after these conferences or seminars or whatever we threw at the time, I had somebody come up to me and say, you know what, Ray, because of you, I was able to move on in life and move on and take advantage of different opportunities because you said something that impacted me, because you did something in your past and it affected me, and your story affected me, but a lot of times, I look at it and I feel like sometimes as we're going through the motions, even probably you've had this feeling starting your podcast, like, is it going to click? When are things going to happen? When, what we go through the motions, but we're just wondering what's happening. But at the same time, you will reach those certain people, and that's when it's going to be gratifying. That's when it's going to be all worth it.
It does, I feel like, because we get that a lot of time. People will hit us up. Like, I've had people message me because with our topics and stuff. Like, I've had people literally message me and they're like, "I'm going through almost the same exact thing."
Yeah,
like, it helped out. And it feels amazing, and that's why I keep doing it. Like, that feeling, be to help other people. Like I said, that's just the goal. Like, fuck that. Like,
now can I ask you something? Right now, are you getting paid to do this?
Barely. Barely.
Do you have any sponsorships, anything
Yeah.
like that? Okay.
We actually got to do our sponsors in a little bit.
Okay, cool. We got to make sure we plug them in, you know. But
no.
But is any besides that sitting here with me? Is anyone paying you right now?
Oh no.
No, you're doing this because you want to.
Of course.
That's what I'm.
Because at the end of the day, like, there's just, I've been through so many life experiences. This is the real reason why I did this shit. I've been through so many life experiences that I just kind of want people to either do what I didn't do, maybe do what I.
In my bag.
Yeah, definitely. But I've just been through so many different experiences, family, everything. Like, I want, on so many different aspects of life, you know, financial, whatever. Like, even my mom. You know, my mom. I've said on here in a podcast before. My mom battled from a drug addiction.
Yeah.
I never want someone to feel like what I felt.
Yeah.
I never want someone to lose their mom at my age. So I want to maybe help anyone that's struggling with that addiction. Mm-hmm. Because that's it. I want to stop. Like, any bad emotion that I've ever felt, if I can possibly try to help someone avoid it, that's all I'm here. That's all I want to do.
That's awesome.
I've just been, like, I've had so many just fucked up shit, you know, like, just life happened. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, how could I use those in a positive way?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is what I want to know.
Okay.
Because I meet a lot of people, and even myself at certain points in my life, where you've gone through so much negative crap, you've seen some stupid stuff, and you can't really erase those things, but
of course,
what makes you prevail? What makes you stay positive? I've always known you, Joe, as someone who's extremely positive. You've always been uplifting. You've always been smiling. I've always seen that. And I don't think I've ever seen you down. And that's crazy because I'm thinking about myself in my past, and it's like, yo, I've been times where I've completely blown people off because I was in a negative state of mind or because something had happened to me. And looking back, like, I shouldn't have been like that, but I've never seen you like that in public, in school. You know, people could have been talking about you, and you know, what made you always be positive and prevail from your situations?
At the end of the day, I think I said it before, and this is kind of big, but a lot of times I'm not positive. I actually suffer from depression. It's crazy. So I may look it, and I am positive at the end of the day, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm totally transparent, and I've said it before on here. I definitely suffer from depression.
Amen.
I go through highs and lows. I have all those moments, but I always try my hardest, no matter what, to stay fucking positive.
That's all it takes.
That's it. That's all it is. Like, I have those lows. I've had to the point where I just do not want to open my eyes anymore. I've had them. I'm telling you, that's why I've been there. And that's another reason why I just want to help people, because I know those feelings. I know those feelings of not wanting to wake up.
Yeah, man.
Like, I know it. You know, all those lows. Yeah, I've been there millions of times. I still suffer from it now. Like, I do. So since I know it, just want to help people. And what helps me stay positive, I don't even know, man. I don't know. I try to think about it sometimes, like, damn, like, fuck. But I just want more, you know?
That's what it is. That's what I think it is. I think all of us have it in us, some more than others, where there's a winner. There's a champion winner inside of all of us, you know? And I've been there, too, where I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to talk to nobody. I want to keep my phone off. Even if it's family members, if I'm, you know, with somebody, I'm locking the door. I just want to stay out of everyone's way, you know, and it's because people look at us to be those positive people sometimes, and it's tough, you know, but
yeah, because, you know, like you said, people, they see that, so you have to, and
then they're gonna ask you, like, what's wrong? What are you doing? What's on your mind? And it's just like, it's like, I don't even want to talk to you. So it's like, we don't even put ourselves in those positions sometimes. You know, I know for a fact I feel like you're like me, where it's like, if you feel upset, you're not even gonna talk to anybody because you don't want to affect anybody. Yeah. You know, but sometimes
it's a downfall. Yeah, it is a down. I've learned I have to, because people won't, like you said, people have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
And
you don't want to tell nobody sometimes what you're going through, you know?
Yeah, like some people that really know me and fuck with me, they know about those lows and shit, but barely even them.
Yeah.
You know, you come off as this super, super, super shit, and it's like, you know, you got lows too, but at the end of the day, well, you have to overcome that shit.
Exactly.
You have to stay positive. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man.
So that's why I be, because it's just, to me, it's like failing is an option.
Yeah.
It's just not. You know, being down and out is just not an option. So when I am, I say, nah, fuck it. You know, like, you just have to get over it.
I got a tattoo to I got a tattoo to commemorate that part of myself too. Here, I'll show you right here. It's right on my wrist.
What does that? What does that mean?
What is it?
It's like a gem, a diamond.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, and do you know how diamonds come out?
Nah.
Do you know where they come from?
Nah.
Diamond,
Well, for the dirt, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and so
Pressure.
that's
The
right.
more pressure.
The more pressure,
yeah.
the more heat, the more dirt, the more crap, the more beautiful of a diamond comes out. You know, and I got that tattoo to I can't even think of the word. You guys know what I mean. Signify that.
Yeah.
Because there is those times when I just don't want to keep going. But at the same time, there's that voice inside me that says, dude, stop being a little biatch. Excuse my language. You know, stop,
I curse a lot on here.
I'm trying. I'm trying to be PG-13 out here because I'm trying to appeal to everybody, the masses. And
You're right. I gotta start switching to PG-13.
I'm telling you, listen, this is a good business decision because I used to curse all the time, but what if you're in front of somebody's grandma or you're in front of somebody's kid? You can't.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You need to, if you want to expand your network, you gotta expand to all surfaces.
100%. I agree. That's
just a business decision that I made.
I like it.
You know, yeah, but
that's and hold on, wait, before I forget this, because the business, what is it called? The diamonds, what diamond?
Well, my Instagram is if you guys will tag this.
So what I want to know, what's the name of the?
So my Instagram handle, which you can tag in the bottom, would be awesome. Is at the Diamond Rays, and that's part of why, because of how I felt. You know, I feel, you know, that. A diamond is the hardest thing out there, you know, and to make a diamond, you have to go through a lot of pressure and a lot of BS and a lot of crap just to make that beautiful thing, you know, and there's other significances behind it, but I think it's what suits the best, you know.
It's really dope.
Yeah, man. But
I have a tattoo, kind of similar meaning.
Yeah.
It ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Amen.
And then when it rains, it pours. I figured the two kind of coincide with one another.
I love that.
This was Sylvester Stallone from the Rocky movie.
Amen.
And 50 Cent, when it rains, it pours a song. I just feel like they both coincide.
That's awesome.
And this quote, that's just how I live by, you know? Like, no matter how hard you get hit, no matter what happens in life, I don't care what the fuck it is, like...
You gotta keep moving forward.
You have to. Like I said, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just, it's us, in me. Yeah, it's just...
It's not in everybody. Because certain people, they'll go through a situation and they'll get stuck there. Unfortunately, certain people have...
Sorry, y'all. That's just a dog.
It's okay.
She's talking shit.
Yeah, you know, but certain people, they go through things and it holds them down for a long time. And I've been there too, you know, and... you know, why do people commit suicide and stuff like that? Why do people have different addictions, I guess you could say? Because they get stuck in a situation and they feel the only way to take care of that situation is in that method, when it's not the case, you know. But the problem is there's a mental switch that has to be turned on for you to feel like there is a situation out. Why do people go through drug addiction? You know, I smoked weed for hella years. Since I was 12 years old. I smoked weed since I was 12 years old. Cigarettes. Personally, for me, cigarettes was a physical thing, so I just needed to hold a cigarette. I don't know. I was stupid. But,
yeah, a lot of people had that.
You know, drinking, I don't drink like that anymore. I'll drink if I'm going out for a nice dinner with some wine and a steak or something like that, but it's like, why do you break these things? It's a switch, you know, and if you can't find yourself to come to that switch, you take yourself negatively, and it's sad. But for the most part, most humans out there, most humans, I'm speaking like I don't know. But most people out there that are listening, I'm sure you guys have gone through this where, you know, something has pulled you out, and you might not even know the situation that pulled you out, but it pulled you out and you prevailed in the end and you won, because as humans, we're designed to win naturally. We're designed to be free. We're designed to win. And, you know, nothing should be able to hold you back, but, you know, that's life. Things are going to come up, but you just got to keep moving forward like your tattoo says.
You have to.
You know, I put this here under my watch, because, you know, a lot of times I'll feel sad or, you know, whatever, you know, unhappy with myself. A big thing for me was I've always had a low self-image growing up. I've always felt really down about myself from whatever people said or whatever family mentioned. I don't know exactly what, you know. I felt like when I was young, I was happy, but going through school and I guess girls and
Life.
and people and peers, you know, you go through crap and, you know, I keep this here just to remind myself, like, listen, it's time to go diamond. You know, it's time to be that instead of being the things that I can let myself negatively go into, you know? So that's why I put that there, because, you know, it's just like, you know, it's under my watch.
Yeah. It's always right there. You're always going to see it, too.
Yeah. You know,
that's why, like,
that time.
It's sometimes you just always have to see, you know?
Yeah.
It's just...
If you guys ever catch me out there and I take off my watch, it's because, you know, I'm trying to remember it's that time.
Yeah.
But,
it's always that time.
It is always that time, and that's why it's under there, because it's always that time.
Sometimes a lot of people, too, they forget to, like, self-assess. Like, I'm big on self-assessment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's huge.
I'm big on that.
I wasn't doing that ever before.
A lot of people don't. Yeah. You know, we have so much shit going on a daily basis, you know, life and work and whatever, that we just forget to kind of really, like, assess ourselves and to think deeper, you know, just about ourselves, what we like, what we don't like. Just the little shit that kind of all sounds corny, it matters, you know, like
100%.
And it will kind of make you or break you, you know. So you just got to stay positive, man. Just keep grinding. That's it. But now, if people want you to mentor them, how does that work? Like,
yeah, I mean, you guys could definitely reach out to me on my Instagram, you know, at the Diamond Rays.
Okay.
That's, you know, my name, Diamond, and then my name, R-A-Y, and then S for my last name, Suarez. So you can reach out to me there. You know, I'm linked up with so many different people, so many great people from all over the world, all over the country. You know, and I mean, if anything, I guess, I don't know if I should put my number on this.
It's up if you're not. I can hit him on Instagram. We won't put your private information if you want, but
yeah,
I might as well, because we get listeners from fucking all over the place. You never know.
You know what? I'll put my number. That's
right. There we go.
An exclusive. Don't prank phone call me. Don't waste my time, please. But my telephone is 201-563-7678. I'm sure I'll put a link in there on the bottom.
Yep.
If you need to reach out to me directly, that is the best method. Text, call. That is just the quickest way. I always check my phone messages before I check Instagram or any of that stuff, obviously. Or email. I guess I'll put my email down there too, but I'm not, you know, phone is the quickest way. So if you're desperate, that's the best way. But yeah, man, I mean, what we're doing is we're out here and we're teaching people how to become successful in their own online businesses, through different marketplaces. You know, and we found a couple that actually really suit people that can help in any particular way. You know, I mean, as I mentioned, when I met Nick, he really taught me first about different ways how money's made. And, you know, he said, listen, if you could become a business owner and have your own thing and teach people how to duplicate what you're doing, you'll become successful. Because guess what? If you teach somebody how to run a business, how many times do you have to teach them?
Yeah.
One time. I know you used to work at Sprint back in the day.
Yeah.
How many times did your manager teach you how to do your job?
Just one.
He taught you how to do it once, but guess what? From then on out, you made money for Sprint that whole entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but here's the thing. As a business owner, you have to start doing the same thing to other people, because then once you could teach a handful of people or 100, you could even teach hundreds of people what you're doing, you just multiplied your time 100-fold. And that's how you exponentially grow your time and your money back. Because once you could teach 100 people what you're doing, obviously if you take yourself out of the picture, money's still going to be getting made.
Yeah, it's going to be circulating.
That's how you create an asset and have cash flow coming in. You know, once you have that cash flow coming in, then you could become an investor and invest into other, you know, things.
Different markets.
You can't invest without having the capital first. So
yeah, you need that bag first.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I said, that's what I'm waiting for. I need that bag.
You know,
once I got that bag, it's over.
I know.
You need at least seven sources of income.
Yeah, 7. I mean, that's like Warren Buffett will tell you he's, you know, probably I don't think he's a billionaire now because he gave a lot of his money away, but you know, he's one of the richest men on earth, and he has, I think, like 42 different sources of income. He doesn't have one just from a job. That's crazy. You know, but that's what it is. It's the name of the game is how many assets and how much money do you have coming in from different sources that are paying you. You know, and that's really what you have to have. You have to have a network of money coming in so that you don't have to worry about it. Once you're not worrying about money in the daily hustle, then you can focus on the things that you really love in life, like your family, your dogs, your pets, your passions. Then you can have the money. Most people, they don't even go after the passion because they're afraid that they don't have the money to do that. You know, whether it's graphic design. With me, I love cars, but guess what? When I was broke, I couldn't think about putting, you know, $10,000 into a project because I didn't have $10,000 to rub. I didn't have two dimes to rub. I didn't have freaking 50 cents a rub,
Yep.
you know?
You got to start from somewhere, you know. Like even this podcast, like I've said the story before. Like when I first thought about it, that was kind of what my block was. I was like, all right, fuck, how am I gonna start?
Yeah.
I don't got a mic.
Yeah.
I don't got equipment. I don't got shit.
But you did it.
And fucking I didn't even know what podcasts were. I started listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and I met him. I did the meet and greet, and I was like, "Yo, just so you know, you inspired me. You know, like, I came up with the idea, but you inspired me to do it on a podcast level, whatever." I told him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he was like, "Oh, why are you gonna start up?" I was like, "Yeah, I just gotta, figure out how I'm gonna record. I gotta get a mic." And she's like, "It was 2016. It was 2016. It's like it's 2016, man. Record this shit on your phone."
Amen.
And I was like, you know what? You're fucking right. You know, like little things like that. Somebody just needs someone else. It's as simple as fucking thing, but some people just need you to kind of like help you create that little thing.
That's awesome.
And you have to just start from somewhere. It don't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Like, and then there'll be bumps in the road. You might be going back to that same fucking thing. Yeah. You know, you never know. But you have to start from somewhere. Whatever your big fucking goal is. You know what I mean? If you don't have that fucking $10,000, don't matter. You have to start small, and then as you go, as you take those steps, shit will come together.
That's it. Amen. Shout out to Joe Budden, the silent mentor to this podcast. That's awesome.
It was funny because at first I was really like, fuck, like I need the money, I need the mic, I need all this shit.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, kind of just being sarcastic. He's like, yo, it's 2016. You're gonna tell me you don't have like.
That's crazy.
But you're right. You know, you just got
listen.
But who thinks it? Everyone's like, I gotta get the mic. I gotta get the laptop. I gotta do this. Dog.
Yeah.
It's 2016.
Yeah.
Like
it's true, man. You have to start somewhere.
You have to.
You have to. I mean, I think Jordan said this. He has a quote somewhere. I don't know. I seen it on Instagram. I don't know. You know how that stuff works. He said, "You never miss. I mean, you won't ever miss." No, how does he say? He says, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
Yeah.
And it's true, And I, at the time when I met Nick, I took a shot, and I started my business with about $250, and
Word.
that's nothing because what we do is we actually take advantage of private online franchising, right? And I've looked at other franchises and McDonald's, every big business out there, I'm sure you guys all know, is a franchise. There's multiple networks of big businesses, McDonald's, banks, PNC Bank, TJ Maxx, Walmart, ShopRite. These companies start out with one location and then have thousands of locations worldwide, across the country, across the sate. That's how you make big money. Of course, yeah. And that's because they're duplicating their efforts.
Exactly, same thing as multiple sources of income.
That's what it is, But then I'm gonna use like McDonald's as a quick testimony. That's really a lot where it started back in the day. Franchising. Before the McDonald's Corporation, a lot of people would have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 stores that they owned themselves. But this guy came along. I'm sure if anybody's seen the movie The Founder that talks about McDonald's, this guy Ray Kroc comes along, and shout out to his name, Ray Kroc comes along and he says, "Listen, this is amazing. This is he was actually a milkshake machine seller, so he would sell the milkshake machine that they used to make, and so he met the owners of McDonald's, the McDonald's brothers, and all of a sudden they have this fast food place, which he's never seen, where they're making 30-second burgers, 1-minute milkshakes. This is coming out quick. And he's like, listen, he had a vision. He said, you guys need to franchise this. You guys need to have this in every single city. I mean, at least back home where I'm from, because that was in California. He was all the way from Illinois. So he's like, you need to have this everywhere. And so they were like, no, because they were thinking small. They were saying, we can't manage 100 different stores because they weren't thinking about it. But Ray Kroc said, no, you don't understand. What we do is we franchise it out. We have somebody invest into their own business, have them run their own business, but because it's our brainchild, we only take a small percentage. So meanwhile, he's taking, maybe 4%, but since this is your company, the princess was like, yeah, that's right. So, but if this is your company, it's your brainchild, and you're only asking for 4%, but now as an investor, you own your own McDonald's, you're getting paid 96% of the profit that comes out of it, you're still making some freaking bank. I mean, most people would think that the guy making 96% is more happy. And you're right. You know what? He's happy because now he has money that's coming from his business. But as a matter of fact, back then, Ray Kroc would only teach them one time how to run their McDonald's. And now for life, he's getting that 4% every month.
Every single, yep.
Now fast forward, there's probably 60,000 locations worldwide. Now imagine, I'm going to do some quick math. If you guys want to pull out the calculator.
Yeah, that's a lot of 4%.
That's a lot of 4%.
That's a lot.
So if you think about it, I'm going to keep it real simple. McDonald's makes probably like every McDonald's is open, 12 to 24 hours. They make on dollar burgers probably like $2,000-$3,000 a day each one.
Yeah.
But let's just keep it simple. Let's say $1,000 from the lowest McDonald's, right?
Profit, yeah.
This is how much a McDonald's store makes. So I mean, obviously, at the end of the year, the actual owner of the McDonald's is happy with that, but they have to give 4% to the McDonald's corporation. So they still come home with $960 a day. They're giving $40 to the brainchild, right? Which is the McDonald's corporation. If you take $40 times 60,000 locations worldwide now, that's $2.4 million a day McDonald's makes. Did you guys listen to that? $2.4 million a day. Not a year, not a month, a day.
And that's on a low.
And that's a low estimate.
Yeah, that's on
Imagine
the lowest.
McDonald's in Times Square. Bro, this is like a $10,000 store.
Yep.
And that's only 4%. I can only imagine. I mean, I used to work for a franchise, and that franchise, the franchisee had to pay 17% a month to the franchise holder.
Yeah. 4% on a low. That was probably back then. Now, yeah, that's easy. 15%. It's wild. You just have to think bigger at the end of the day.
That's what it is, man. And I seen that, and my mind was freaking blown. I said, "Holy crap, bro! That's so much money. I wish I could make that in a lifetime, let alone in a day."
Yeah.
And Nick came to me, and Nick said, "Ray, you can." He says, "You can." He's like, "That's what I do." And I said, I dropped my jaw, and I said, "This is what I need to do." And he, with our mentorship program, our business mentorship program, he really explained everything, and the people that we're working with. I mean, I have access to millionaires on a day. Right now on my phone, I can call up a millionaire if I need help with something. Nick himself now, when I met him, was making $250 grand, $200 grand, something like that.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago. Since then, his business has exponentially grown. Obviously, because of private franchising with his company, he's helped other people make money, and because he's helped other people make money, he's made extra money.
Of course, yeah.
I'm sure you've probably heard of this. With online private franchising, a lot of people know it as network marketing.
Yeah.
He's taken advantage of a network marketing opportunity, and I've seen network marketing so many times. Hey, right, Princess? You too, right?
She's like, "Yep, I heard it."
And I've always looked at network marketing negatively. And it was because of whether the people or the situation or the products or the services or whatever the case may be. But it was just because I was just listening to what other people were saying about network marketing. And, when I was young, I've seen like so many weird things, so many weird companies, insurance companies, health companies, selling companies, vacations, World Ventures, all these weird things, right? I don't mean to drop any names, but there's all these different things, and it's like, none of them were for me, because it's like, I'm not trying to buy insurance or show other people how to buy insurance for when they die, which is a great thing, but I'm okay. I want to help people live a good life. I'm not going on vacation every single month. At that time at least. At that time. I will, but at that time I wasn't. So I was like, I needed to find something. And he actually helped me learn how to become a prosumer. Now, a lot of people, when we buy things, at the store, we are consumers.
Yeah.
Which is immediately a negative connotation. That's why it's consumer. We give money for a product or service. We get money we get a product in return.
Yeah.
Maybe a receipt if you're lucky, if you get a good cashier, right? But what he said is, listen, Ray, that's awesome, that's all well and good, but I'm going to teach you how to become a prosumer. So what we're going to teach you is, we're going to partner up with many different companies. So you have access here to hundreds of different companies, millions of different products worldwide, and essentially you can access them through your own online business. So you just have to go through your business, go through a hyperlink, you get redirected to all these different companies, and boom, now you have access to these companies. Instead of being a consumer, now you buy these products from yourself, from all your different partnerships. And what happens is the same thing. You're getting that product and service.
Yeah.
But on top of getting the product and service, because you have that exclusive partnership, you're also getting cash back. Different percentages depending on where your business is, the type of business you're working with, or the type of company you're working with. You're getting anywhere from 3 to 25% cash back. And then on top of that, because you have exclusive partnerships, like I have an exclusive partnership with Apple, you're getting discounts also. So like with Apple, right now, different products with Apple, if anybody needs anything, I'm the plug. So you get you get anywhere from 5 to 20% off.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
And 5 to 20% off is a lot.
Now think about it. I'm looking at it as a business like the way my mind was working with before, I was like, okay, so if I can get a MacBook, $1,000 MacBook, and get 20% off of it, get it for $800, I just saved or made $200. And now here's the thing. Now let's say I have a boy or a friend that needs a MacBook. I get it for $800. They see it for $1,000 in the store. I give it to them for $9. They're happy because I just hooked them up. I'm happy because I just made a $100 quick flip.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's still thinking small because you still have to think actively, right?
Yeah.
So thinking actively, that you can still make a little bit of money. And so that's still good. So if you, like a lot of people in network marketing, they're very big into sales, very big into doing that. But then the next side of it is developing a business network. Okay, so on top of making some money, getting some cash back with the exclusive partnerships, you know, a lot of people said, okay, I can do all these sales, but it means I got to be running around still like a chicken with its head cut off. So you can do that. You're still working actively. You're still working a sales job. You have a network marketing job. But with the proper mentorship, we show you how to have an actual business and create a business network. So what Nick showed me was, listen, as long as you're working with qualified people, you can show people how to become a prosumer as well. Okay. How to, you know, buy things for themselves, everyday items. I mean, it could be anything, bro. A bar of soap, like deodorant.
Get a regular shit.
Regular stuff that people use on a daily basis. You know, it's not a vacation. How many times a year do you go on a vacation? Tell me.
Yeah, never.
Never.
Okay,
maybe once.
Never.
Maybe once. Maybe once a year.
That.
The average person, the average American goes on vacation once a year, if that. But it's like, how many times are you brushing your teeth?
Exactly, every day.
How many times are you washing your hair?
Every day.
How many times are you putting on deodorant?
Every day.
How many times you wipe your butt?
Every day. A couple times a day.
These are things that make the most money in this country. And people don't understand that. They look at glorious products like Apple phones and cars. But how many times are you buying a car? Once every 5 years? Once a year? And it's like at max? So it's like, you can't, people look at certain things and they say, oh, I'll never do this or that, you know. And I said, listen, if I can make money off of things that I'm using on an everyday basis, I'm going to freaking do it. I'm going to say, at least if anything, I'm saving money on the low end, you know. But Nick said, listen, that's great, you could save some money, but we're here for the long haul, for big business. What he said was, listen, you can now franchise your business out because you are a franchisee yourself. So now you have the option to franchise your business out and teach people what you're doing. I said, hell yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
He said, or you can make sales, you know, which I'm not too big in. You know, I don't want to run around. I don't really want to be out here convincing people to buy things from me. You know, and he said, listen, as you develop a network, you show people how to become prosumers as well, buy from themselves. But guess what? Because they're part of your network, that's still volume. That's still products moving through your network.
Yeah, exactly. So you get paid for all those.
Exactly. So you're getting small percentages from these companies because the companies that you're working with recognize, like, yo, you are bringing in business volume through your network, so we're going to pay you small percentages from whatever it is that your business network is bringing in.
Yeah.
Obviously, from a marketing standpoint, a lot of people, they say, okay, you're going to have to buy product, you know, sell products and, you know, make sure people sell them, and then you have to recruit a lot of people to do the same thing, and it's like, you can do that, right? But with the way my business is ran, if I recruit somebody, I don't get paid. I'm not getting paid per head at all. Okay. If I get somebody part of my business network, my business team, and they do absolutely no volume and there's no business brought through their business, I'm just wasting my time. You're wasting your time. There's nothing going on. There's no money to be made. Okay. So what we do is we properly qualify the people that we're working with. So as long as you qualify and everything is good and you're on the path of you're making your own business and building what you have to, and we show you everything it takes to become a business owner, and you're okay with that, we can now start your business and get into what we have to do to make money, you know. And it's very simple. Listen, I buy, eat, and shop for myself. I make cash. I show other people how to do the same. They make cash. I make more cash. Yeah, that's it.
It's good down the chain.
That's it, you know. And
on regular shit that you use on like a daily basis.
On regular shit you use on a daily basis, man. I'm freaking right now. I'm drinking this drink right here. This is a freaking. Inside of it, I have a little concoction. I have actually water, which is one thing. But mixed with that water, I put in a couple different vitamins with it. You know, and it's just because, you know what, my diet's not the best, so I want to make sure that I'm fulfilling it. But, you know, even this bottle, everything I wear, everything, my shoes, you know, I have a partnership with Macy's, for Christ's sake. I bought my shoes through my portal from Macy's, and usually you go to the mall and you spend money. But now I go to the mall online
And you're saving
and I
money.
save money, and boom. To
On
me,
regular shit.
You're making money. You're saving money. You're making money in my eyes. But now here's the thing. Now if I could teach somebody or yourself or whoever it is to do the same thing, you're as well saving or making money, and I'm actually getting a benefit from that too. So,
Yeah.
So people that I work
It's
with,
like a referral, but yeah, it's
the people that I'm working with directly, it's a partnership. There's nothing else, like I'm not playing games out here. I'm looking for just the right people, maybe two or three good qualified people at a time to work with, to do what it is that I'm doing, to work part of our system, part of our mentorship program, because it's not just buying things. Like that's the outside view. That's what people will see. But there is a whole bunch of things you have to learn education-wise, mentality-wise. You have to switch from being an employee on that quadrant. We call it cash flow quadrant. Being an employed, self-employed business owner or investor. You have to learn how to switch your mindset from being an employee to being a business owner, which a lot of people it's hard to do.
Yeah, so it's not for everybody. Some people it is,
not.
or a lot of people don't know that they have that in them.
Exactly.
Sometimes you got to just pick it out of them.
And that's why actually I wanted to bring this book, because my goal in life is to help people live their life to their fullest potential. That's all I want to do. You know why?
Yeah.
Because somebody came into my life and he helped me live my life to my fullest potential. And I wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for somebody reaching out. So that's why I'm doing that. I mean,
That's awesome. This is it.
It's how to live a happy, free, regretful life. Most people, they live life in regret and they live life in fear. But it's like things like this, books like these, I wouldn't have access to if it wasn't for my mentorship program.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know.
On top of all these partnerships, I'm actually partnered with a mentorship program, almost like an educational system that teaches people how to become business owners. So I have access to millionaires. I have access to different seminars or outings or different resources that I have, whether it be online apps, different educational sources that I can actually chime into, so that I can learn how to become a better person.
Yeah, a better person overall.
And people that I'm working with have access to that as well. And that's
dope.
That's what I love. I mean, when I was back in high school, I remember being in high school and just being, I don't want to say a mess up, but I just was, I was just doing what I was taught, and I was hanging out with stupid people, so I became a stupid person myself. But it's like the one thing I really wanted was good guidance, and from my family, I didn't have that. So I just did what I thought was good, which really wasn't. But even I remember just going to the guidance counselor's office in school when I was young and looking for them to show me what to do. But guidance counselors usually what they'll do is they'll use a cookie cutter method, and they'll try and teach everybody the same thing. But we're all different, and that's never gonna work for people. And I realized that, and what's cool is when it comes to what we're doing, we are here to help empower and educate people depending on where you're at. We're here to meet you at your needs and figure out what you want out of life and figure out how you want to change and figure out how you want to become a better person. And that's where we're here to meet you.
That's dope.
But the only thing is for me personally, I couldn't just come out of the Windworks and do that. It had to come with a lot of learning, a lot of education. And the same comes from Nick. He's 27 years old now, and like I mentioned, his business exponentially grown. He has a business asset that's worth over $3 million. And it's crazy because he was just a regular kid from Jersey City, just like one of us. He's just a regular kid. And from what he's learned, all the education he's gained, all the associations he's been around, he's been able to change his life and his family's life, and as well as impact the lives of other people. And that's something that's what I see, and I just said, yo, this is. I've seen other businesses and I've seen other opportunities, but it was the people that I'm around are just, there's something not right there.
Yeah, you can tell. The energy.
Yeah, then that's what you have to feel. It's a feeling. I remember the first time I went with him to a conference, large conference, and there was 50 different millionaires there speaking to us about how they got from where I was a broke, professional to where they are becoming millionaires, financially free and everything. And just walking into that room, everybody that was there was so excited about their future because we're all there for the same thing. We're all trying to become financially free. We're all trying to better ourselves and better the people we're around. And it was just that vibe is just so strong, Joe. It's so strong, and it's not like anything I've ever experienced. And it wasn't like any other opportunity I've ever seen. And so, I'm blessed. I thank God, that
They took it, yeah.
that I took the opportunity, but even then, I know people that take opportunities and they don't understand the value of what they have in their palm, and they think because of one negative situation or some kind of negative outcome that it just it just doesn't work for them, wherever the case may be. And that honestly is not true. It's just all of us are in different levels of life, and all of us are in different places, so we have to work from where we are and know where we are and know who we are and get better. And that's actually, this book is actually talking about that. Like, know who you are, like you mentioned, how to evaluate yourself, figure out who you really are, and how you want to move forward.
Yeah, how you want to grow.
We're all onions. That's what it says. On the outside we might stink or whatever, but it's like we all have different layers that we have to peel back to figure out who we really are.
That's dope, yo. I want to check that out. Keys to Living. It's kind of similar. It sounds similar to a book I was reading called Secret to Success.
Who's it by?
Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas.
You ever heard of him?
He sounds familiar.
He's a real good motivational speaker. I'll send you his stuff.
He black?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know who he is.
Yeah, Eric Thomas is real good. What's this other book?
So this one here actually is a book called Business of the 21st Century. I wanted to actually preview this book. Actually, I brought this copy for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wanted you to grab
Business of the 21st Century?
Business of the 21st Century. So this is actually by Robert Kiyosaki. For all you listening, I don't know if you know who that is. He wrote a book called...
The last name sounds familiar.
Yeah, not Kawasaki. Kiyosaki.
Oh, okay.
He wrote a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is actually the #1 best-selling business and mentality book of all time. Yeah, that's his brand is called Rich Dad.
Rich Dad.
And he's a really famous entrepreneur, philanthropist, motivational speaker. He made his money actually through real estate. And I think it's awesome, because he at his young age, he always knew that he needed to do something more. His actual biological father was a principal of a high school. He was actually from Japan. They moved to Hawaii. So his father was a principal of a high school in Hawaii, which is a noble job, honorable job.
Yeah.
But his family still was working at life. He wasn't financially free by any means. His best friend's father was actually the richest man in Hawaii. Yeah, never finished school. Had an elementary degree. Never went to never finished high school. But he was the richest man in Hawaii. Why? Because he learned how to build assets and develop businesses and things of that nature. So that became kind of like his mentor in life. And that's what he talks about kind of in The Rich Dad. But in this book, he talks about actually the benefits of what I do personally.
Yeah.
He actually, like I said, made his business from real estate. But from a third-party point of view, he really talks about business as a whole, especially nowadays, obviously in the 21st century. We're in a different time frame than back in the day. We're not, now my family, my mother's a hardcore office worker. I've been making more money than her since I was 23 years old.
Yeah.
My father is a traditional business owner. Him and his family have owned businesses in the furniture industry. So it's like...
Shout out to your dad. Your dad's cool shit.
Yeah, he's mad chill, but he's been through a lot.
Meaning to go over there.
Yeah.
Some furniture.
Yeah, right? But, he's been through a lot with it. I've seen him throw hundreds of thousands of dollars into businesses for them to fail. And just have a broken down building afterwards. And now he's renting them out and stuff like that. So I've seen that, and that's what scared me from business ownership back in the day. Most reason why people are afraid of getting into business for themselves or taking that next step or taking the risk is because of, the risk that's involved.
Yeah.
The capital, they need money.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said, I got started in business for about $250. My father, I've seen him throw hundreds of thousands of dollars. To own a McDonald's, let me put that in distance terms, it's almost $1 million in liquid assets.
Yeah, assets. You have just to have a fucking McDonald's.
But you know what? It's guaranteed money when it happens.
Exactly. They know they want that much because they know you're good for life. You can put a McDonald's anywhere and you're gonna be fucking
anywhere. It can be in the middle of the hood or it can be in the nicest place. It's gonna always make money.
Yeah.
But
like a Dunkin' Donuts.
But it all comes. Yeah, exactly. It all comes though down to the mentorship of the corporation and how they're teaching the actual McDonald's business owner. When you go to McDonald's and you say, I want to open a franchisee, not only do you have to have the money already, but you have to be willing to do two things. You have to learn. Yeah, actually, McDonald's, there's a place, you guys can look this up, called Hamburger University. They send you to Hamburger University, and this all costs money.
Yeah.
You have to be mentored by the corporate center. And then they hook you up with their distribution company, which I think is called Golden State Distribution, something like that. You know, you
Golden
put
State.
Yeah, you put these because it's from Cali.
Yeah,
you know, you put these two things together, and that's how you have a successful McDonald's business. You have the mentorship from their corporation, from Hamburger University. You have the Golden State distribution. That's where all the fries, the burgers. Even if you look at McDonald's, they all are starting to change. They're looking a little more hip, but they still all have the same furniture, the same cashier register, the same signs.
Yeah.
All of this stuff comes from Golden State distribution. So you take the education, the distribution company, you put them together, you have a successful McDonald's making millions of dollars for yourself and your family.
Fucking at least $2 million a day.
That's what I'm saying.
We need that.
We do this now in the 21st century, just with online resources.
Yeah, everything's online. Oh, you know, online is, yo.
So this talks about.
I got something online. I'll tell you when we're not recording. I got something online that I'm about to pop off soon.
Let me know, man. I mean,
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. This business this pretty much lies out pretty much the business that I run, and you know, I know for a fact that if anybody listening to this, you know, get in touch with me. I'm always here to sit down with anybody and really explain a little bit more. But I just wanted to give you this as a gift, kind of for me, just because.
I'm with that. Thank you, bro.
Of course,
Appreciate that. It's dope.
Because I know you're always out here. So
I'm always hustling in some way or another.
This book talks about, you know, the hustle that we have now in the 21st century compared to, you know, where people were back in the day, and why looking into business is something that's good for you.
Yeah.
You know, how it can help you, and
that's what I do similar with the wings and visions. Like, you know, I talk to people, and a lot of times, most of the time, people, they won't even fucking be thinking about a business that they're about to fucking run or that they could run. You know, like, you never know. Like, you just kind of have to, like, pick people's brains.
It's true, man.
That's all what it's about.
It's true.
But at the end of our show, what I usually have people do is just shout something out, man. Whatever you think you want to shout out. Yeah. Fucking TV show that you thought was really, really dope. Fucking song you heard. A business you went to. Anything you just thought was dope that you want the listeners to hear.
Yeah. Something that was dope recently. I mean, first off, I got to shout out a couple things. One, I'm going to shout out my God, because without him, we can't be here. I can't be here. We can't be doing the things that we're doing.
Word.
So thank you, God. Two, I want to shout out my family. And three, I want to shout out everybody who's been there in the past, who's made me who I am today. I can't thank everybody, obviously. Otherwise, we'd be here for years. But everybody who's been there, good and bad, they've all helped me become who I am. And a big shout out right now currently to my senior business partners, Nick and Stephanie Nwoki. They're awesome.